Assalamu alaikum. Hello, my name is Shihub. I'm an Australian-born Bangladeshi, and this is my workplace. I started off at Cricket New South Wales 5 years ago. In my time, I've had 3 different roles. The first role was as a junior participation specialist with community cricket, before then going into the cricket operations space. Firstly as a training operations coordinator, and now as a match operations coordinator. I want to show you what my workplace is like, so let's go check it out. So in my role, I currently work in the cricket operations space, previously as a training operations coordinator and now as a match operations coordinator. I often think to myself, wow, I can't believe I'm doing this. A 5-year-old Shihub wouldn't have thought he would, but now I feel like the luckiest person ever. So my journey in cricket started all the way up in Darwin. Yes, Darwin, a very small place in the Northern Territory. There was basically a very small community of about 100 Bangladeshis up in Darwin. And growing up, there was only a very few of us from that heritage playing in Bangladesh. Luckily, my dad was quite obsessed with cricket, like all of us are, and I had an opportunity to play for my local club in Palmerston Cricket Club. And as I did, I grew up, you know, being one of the few Bangladeshis to play. It was actually quite a privilege. And what was very exciting about that time and era was that Bangladesh actually toured in 2003 and in 2008. And when they actually toured, my dad was the team liaison officer. So you could actually imagine me being the little toddler, getting to run around the rooms, you know, and actually meeting some of these Bangladeshi players. But what they didn't know was that I am born and raised in Australia, so I had a chance to actually support Australia too. So I went for both countries. But I had an opportunity as well to hold the flag for Bangladesh. And that was actually a really cool moment because, you know, not many kids got to do that opportunity. So I felt very lucky. But for me, as I continued my cricket along the way, I played a few state championships for NT in the under-13s and under-15s. And then eventually deciding that, you know what, I actually want to be a part of this for a lot longer. And while my cricket abilities aren't to the best of what they could be, someone actually saw an opportunity in me to say, hey, you're actually really good at what you do, you're really organised, maybe you should give cricket a go. And so for me, I actually got to work at the NT Cricket office, and while working at the NT Cricket office, I had a lot of opportunities to, you know, work as a scoreboard attendant, work as a casual, and that started the whole journey of working here in the cricket industry. My dad played a really big important role for me as a kid when growing up, and while I was possibly the only or one of the few Bangladeshis who actually played up in Darwin, and being surrounded by a lot of teammates who are Australian and whatnot, I was very well integrated into the Australian culture in that sense. But what my dad did really well for me growing up was that every 2 years we used to go to Bangladesh. Bolte pari ekটু ফাঁকা. Growing up, you know, my dad kept me into the community, and we basically also not only played cricket, we played badminton. And my dad used to actually organise social badminton every Sundays. What was really key about that was that it was a community thing. We had almost like 20 to 30 Bengalis who would actually come to that. Not only would we be playing badminton, but we'd also be playing cricket, all of us kids on the side. I know that a lot of my family members took a lot of pride and joy in that. So that was really important. But I think the only time they wouldn't have taken pride is when the famous victory in 2005 for Bangladesh when they beat Australia. I was wearing both shirts. You know, 10 minutes out, I'll be wearing a Bangladesh shirt, then I'll be wearing an Australian shirt. I really wanted the Aussies to win because I love the Aussies. And when the Australians lost, I actually cried, and my Bengali family would never live that down, and they still remember that to this day. So 2 of my favourite days that actually stick out since working with Cricket New South Wales, one of them was in my previous role back as a junior participation specialist. I got to lead our whole community Cricket New South team a couple seasons on the Sydney Cricket Ground during the lunch break of the Test match. And let me tell you, that was one of the best days, and one of the most enjoyable days, because not only you had 20,000 fans around the Oval, but you know, you got to see kids smiling, you know, kids who have an opportunity of a lifetime to, you know, hit the ball on one of the, you know, the greatest fields in the world. A lot of those moments really stick out because It was just something so surreal and something so special about that inspiring others to play cricket. That was actually really cool. Second favourite day, once again, being in my current role in the match operations space. I got to lead a Sydney Sixers game at North Sydney Oval, and you know, being able to lead that, seeing, you know, all the fans on the hill, the first ball, as I think it was Dwarshus who hit it for 6, you know, and it was like, it was small boundaries, but you know, you already knew that was like an exciting time. That was actually a really cool game that I cherish. Hi Squad Bangladesh, ধন্যবাদ, thank you for listening. এটা তুমি দেখছেন, আমি hopefully তোমার অনেক মজা লাগলো। আমার শুনো, আমার বাংলাটা এত ভালো না, বাট আমার বাংলাটা অনেক প্যাশন আছে। I thank my dad, আমার আব্বা আমার জন্য অনেক কিছু করছে ছোটবেলা থেকে, and honestly this is for him. If you're watching this, you know, come, you know, এই বছর come to Sydney, you know, watch a game, আমাকে hello বলো, আমাকে আসো, আমরা হ্যান্ডশেক করবো, যারা কিছু হবে, but thank you for watching, and go Squad Bangladesh and Australia.